Hello and good evening and welcome to. There I am. Okay, there I am.
Live and in color. Okay,
Yes.
there we go. There we go.
Welcome to the Truth Behind the Truth, guys. We
Yes.
thank you for tuning in with us this evening on another special evening, kicking off a new month. Hey, it is
Yes.
April, man. This year's almost over with.
Woo.
Right.
We'll be pulling I know we'll be pulling out the Christmas tree soon.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
indeed.
July will be here too.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Exactly.
All
We
right.
want to welcome all of our our social media based family. Thank you for tuning in to tonight.
Yeah.
As I made you guys mention made mention of last week that our Truth Behind the Truth Facebook page has been compromised. So we'll be sending out new likes and things like that to get that page up and running. We don't know what happened, but when you go to another level, hey, something is always waiting for you. At the end of the day, but it's okay. We're still here live, YouTube, and the other areas of Facebook that we can get into you as well, and also on our Instagram side. So thank you guys for tuning in, and making us a part of your evenings as well. Have some wonderful, wonderful guests tonight, man. April.
Yeah.
Hey, spring is in the air. As they say, when spring in the air, love always comes up. Kind of like it blooms. So it dies in the. I guess the love die in the fall, and it come up and it rises again in spring. I don't know.
It's resurrected in spring. It's resurrected.
Yeah, it's resurrected. Okay, all right. That's a good way of looking. That's a good way of looking at it, Harold. But anyway, so we have some wonderful guests tonight. So we're really excited about bringing them on tonight, and as we're kicking off our Loveology series, all right, this week and next week. So if you guys got any great questions, we ask you to put them in the comments, all right, so that we can address them. Hopefully, if not fully on the show, we'll be able to get back with you on them, and maybe on an upcoming show. But anyway, great night. So, fellas, how are you?
Good.
Harry,
good to see you all.
Yeah, as well. Harry, you looking exceptional tonight. I mean, you got your love volley. It looked like you got your eyebrows done, and
it's the lighting. I just got some better lighting. It's just the lighting.
Oh, is this what it is? Okay, all right. Well, you said love is in the air. I mean, hey, you might be looking like a little somebody to meet up, and
I'm looking.
Okay, there you go.
Don't you know that I've been looking for you?
Yes.
Come on, Patrice Rushen.
I know, right? Exactly.
Yes, all these years later, that is still my jam. Every time that song comes on, I'm like,
Yeah,
right. So as you see, I'm doing good. I'm feeling great. I'm in a good mood and happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always
she made some great music in her day.
Tell us how you doing first.
I'm good.
Okay.
Everybody, I am good. Oh my goodness. This week has went by so fast.
It has.
It's really went by so fast.
It really has.
It's, we just did the show a couple days ago. Like,
I know, right? But hey,
wow.
As we roll off into a hot topic before we go to break, but I want to forget tonight. But can you imagine what has went on in the short time span of this 1 week that we've experienced? I know we talked in production meeting that we weren't going to get digging into it, but I just want to say, about the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. Give us like your 2-minute thought on that, and then we'll move on past it. My 2-minute or less than 2-minute thought on it is that. I have been very neutral in the beginning, about it. I understand, whatever. What happened, was it acceptable? No. Okay. At the end of the day, we did talk about, where his head might have been prior to what he necessarily experienced with his wife, what Jada was going through prior to the show. We kind of analyzed those particular things. But what I will say this. I think that there's too much involvement of everybody else in their life at this point, because everybody has gotten so much of an opinion on what they think should happen to somebody else in a mistake that they made. Because the one thing we have to realize is that we're all prone to make mistakes. Nobody is immune from that particular point in time, and we have to think about what we do cautiously. My last point is that we'll see your cliche that you used to say, "Sticks and stones will make you bones, but words will never hurt you." No, words will hurt. Words hurt, and in this case, word gets you slapped. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, next, Harold, you make your point.
Well, I've snapped a few times in my life, so I totally get it. So I have empathy on both sides. So
thank you.
Harold, you're so usually so calm and pulled together. I'm trying to.
I know, right?
I'm trying to see. I'm like, oh, Harold is usually. But you know, it's that duality in our personalities. At any moment, the nicest person can just go out and
this is true.
Smack somebody.
That's true.
My little 2 cents is like, again, yes, we're all for defending your family and yourselves. But there's all and it's a whole lot of stuff. But it really is a thing of just walking up to and smacking somebody just because they said something that offended or was a bad joke or whatever. It's like, come on now. As grown ass people, that's not something that's stuff that you do when you're in high school and college and stuff.
Right.
At this point, it's kind of like you need to have enough control over yourself. And the fact, Will knew he was wrong. The fact that he resigned from the academy and words he said or his publicist said acknowledged that he was wrong. Right. That could have been handled all kind of different ways as opposed to just going up there. People can feel whatever they feel about it. Right. But the fact of the matter is, in an adult society with responsible people, you just can't go up. We be slapping people all damn day long.
All day. I felt like it today. I'm serious.
All day.
I felt like it today. I was coming home and somebody did something. I was, oh wait a minute, I feel like slapping you. But I did. Go ahead, man.
Oh my goodness! But honestly, it was just unfortunate. It was a very unfortunate moment for a great night.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, this is when you have to take a look in the mirror and see that and think about the consequences of you actually doing that. And to be honest with you, I don't like this narrative that is going around. It's getting very toxic, especially within the African-American community. I don't like the fact that people are throwing this narrative around that he represents the African-American community. Yeah, he is African-American, but Will is Will Smith.
Right.
And I'm grateful for his accomplishments of being a great actor, a performer, entertainer, but he represents himself and his family.
Right.
He doesn't represent a whole community because we're all tribal. We all have different beliefs, different backgrounds, we have come from different environments. That is not a representation of a whole race. So we need to stop wearing that burden of white supremacy over our heads.
Good
I just want to put that out there because that is not a representation. And I think Will Packard, I feel bad for him because he did
get there next. But go ahead.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
But I feel bad for him and his team that was ran by a whole bunch of, it was black ran.
Right.
But other than that, though, just unfortunate. And we just need to do better. As not only Will needs to do better, but as a society, because violence has always been the mainstream of our culture. So
that's true.
Yeah,
and let's not forget what happened at the Capitol. So let's not try.
And we're still dragging that out a year later. But anyway, you're so right, Harold. But let's talk about the Oscars anyway. The highlight and the great part of this. Not outside of the incident, because the show itself was just phenomenal. I think the presentation, I could have not seen a better production in all the years. And I'm an Oscar fan. All the years I've ever watched them. Kudos out to Will Packard.
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling you, it was just so awesome. The diversity, the fun, the engagement, all of those other things. I mean, again, better show me slightly knowing Will personally as well, and knowing how he is as a man of action, working with him on different projects. So it's just great, and I really am hoping that they invite him back again and his team to do every Oscar from this point forward. Got to pay homage to him as well, and how he has so delicately handled the event that went on in his purposeful way of being. But then, like we do, he stayed neutral. He stayed in the middle. He evoked his point, and he answered the questions, as it was an issue. So kudos to him with that.
And if you are a church-going person, he in the memoriam. He brought church to the Oscars. I was looking for Shirley Caesar to come out and saying, "I'm going now." I was like, "Okay, now wait a minute." I was like, "Okay." Now.
Yeah.
And Jill Scott did that spoken word poem towards it. It was that was motivation and inspiration right there, and it was totally different from what the Oscars been before.
Never has been.
And what it had before, because I usually fall asleep during the Oscars. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. What point did you walk away, Parnell? What was your thing?
Oh no, it was just watching that show is the most colorful that the Oscars has ever been.
Right.
You know, just noticing like even the escorts who bring out the awards and stuff, like, oh, look at all these Black folks up here on stage presenting. So it was nice to see that, and listening to the music as every intro and outro come in. It's like all Black artists being played and stuff. Like, yes, we finally get a moment to really shine and just say our music can be played at the Academy Awards as well. It's still the music of America and the world.
Right, exactly.
Moving on from the Oscars stuff.
Oh no, we want to get Harold's point real quick. Don't get Harold's Oscar moment.
I didn't see. The only part I saw was the clip that was trending. I don't have a TV. I didn't watch the Oscars.
Okay, well, it's on YouTube too. But anyway, we won't go there. Okay.
I didn't see it. But speaking of the Oscars, I'm excited about the reconciliation between Lee Daniels and Monique.
That was my last point. Yes. I mean, quick point. If you got a point, we'll let your point because we got to go to break. Got a point? Go ahead, Harold.
No, go ahead. It's on you, JB. I'll let you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, kudos to. I mean, I'm so glad for that for Monique and Lee Daniels reconciling. That is so great. There's awesome. A point I wanted to bring up about that, but I don't have the time to talk about it now. But the story that I have with working with Monique. But maybe later we'll talk about it. All right, we got to go to a quick break. When we come back from our break, we have our wonderful guests tonight, Miss Tara and Miss Tanya Godwin. We are so glad.
Trey and Tanya.
Trey. I'm sorry, I said it incorrect. I'm running my mouth so fast. Trey and Tanya Goodwin. Yes. Thank you, Harold. All right, guys. We'll be right back after this break. Hello, and we're back, guys. Thank you once again for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth. Want to get in touch base with all of our social media base. Thank you guys for taking the time out to being a part of what we're doing, hopefully changing the voices of everybody out there, letting you know to find your authentic self within your truth behind your truth. It's an exciting place to be in your life to really be able to recognize that. But without further ado, tonight we're going to go ahead and dig in, get our wonderful guests on tonight. As I said earlier, I'm sorry. As I said earlier, we were talking.
Sound. Somebody I hear. Something.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. As I said earlier, we're kicking off our Loveology segment tonight, and we're really, really excited about that. Being able to dig in to help build better relationships, and find out ways to be able to do that. So we've got some wonderful guests tonight that are going to be sharing, their viewpoint as a consultant. They have their own show out about Loveology as well, and we'll let them tell you about that very shortly. But we do want to welcome to the Truth Behind the Truth for the very, very first time, and hopefully won't be the last, Trey and Tanya Godwin. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you guys for taking the time out to be with us tonight. We are excited to hear about what you guys get to share with us. Getting this love thing going on. All right?
We feel and see the love that y'all are committing. We see and feel the love.
Yes, we see and feel the love. Exactly.
It's not just for social media, it's real.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is beautiful to hear. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, especially representation of people of color, because they tend to think that we can't help maintain relationships. I don't know why, but maybe I won't say the single people because we got single people on our show.
Come on now, yes, single people.
But I'm gonna let our single person go ahead and start with the first comments and questions tonight. All right.
Let me get some relationship advice.
Maybe get some good advice tonight. Okay. Go ahead, Harold.
Yeah. So Trey and Tanya, so you guys have been actually married for 10 years and been together over 14 years. Is that correct?
Yes,
correct.
We're approaching 14.
We are approaching 10 years married and 14 years coming up.
Yes.
Wow. Now that's amazing. Now, how did you guys meet?
Well, I can tell that story.
Tell the story.
Because when I came down here to Atlanta, my wife lived here before me. And I went to one of our very known local establishments here. And I was watching a show and I was like, man, I can do that. I want to perform. And the owner of the club said, you need to go talk to that person right there. And they pointed to the person.
Oh, wow.
And so I went over there and my wife, then Tanya, was sitting at the bar, just, being Tanya. And I said, Goldie. And I said, excuse me, I'm interested in being on the show. Never turned a shoulder, never made eye contact, nothing. So she was just like, we have an opening, and she gave the date. And I was like, oh my God.
Auditions.
Yeah, for audition. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So again, still didn't know who she was. Right. And I was with someone at the time, and she was with someone at the time. And then let's fast forward. MySpace, let's bring us back. MySpace.
Yeah, I remember MySpace.
So then, being new to the community and not having that family atmosphere of having that support, I found out about the different families that were established here in Atlanta. So I was researching and just figuring out where I fit in best. Right. And my wife is a mother of a house here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Correct. Yes, she's a mother. So I reached out to two different families. And once again, not knowing that the person I spoke to months prior is the mother of this house. So I once again reached out and I said, hey, I'm interested in finding about the family, the Buchanan family, and blah, 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 blah. Once again, she threw me to the side. I didn't even make a connection.
So it wasn't love at first sight.
It definitely wasn't love. It wasn't face. It wasn't eyes. It was nothing.
It was nothing
at first sight. And she was like, talk to my son. He does the recruiting and, just. So I went and I finally went to her home and I had to interview the whole process, and I never made the connection that the woman that I saw at the club previously was now the one that I'm sitting in her home.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because my focus was I needed a support. Right. I needed a family. I needed, I needed to belong.
So far, I'm sorry, because so far as our audience, so they can have a little bit of clarity what you're referring to as far as the home and that relationship. Can you give a quick synopsis on what you're referring to so they'll know exactly, how the gathering of the home and being the mother of the home?
Absolutely.
The gay families, yes. We have a lot of gay families in general. And in Atlanta, we have a lot of lesbian knitted gay families. And my house was the House of Buchanan's. And anybody that wanted to become a part had to literally go through a process. And so Trey is getting ready to tell you a little bit about the process that he had to go through. And you're gonna hear me say he a lot because I call you on what you give me. My baby give me a male's perspective and appearance, so I say he a lot. So we pretty much go through the whole process to become a part of our house. And at that time, I was with my ex, who we were kind of on the outs anyway, getting ready to kind of do that. And as Trey was coming into the family, Trey, you may have stayed in the family maybe 3 or 4 months before we realized there was a connection. Yeah. And then we realized that, Trey kind of like, let me get out of this family to not disrespect the house.
Okay. Yeah, so it was crazy because all of these different events occurred and I was not connected. Being a teacher and a math teacher, I thought I would have made a connection. I was not making any connections. I just wanted that love, that support, that cuddle me, hold me when I'm cold on a winter night kind of feeling, so I knew my goal. And this entire time, I never knew that I was walking towards my wife.
Wow. When did you know? When did you guys know that was your wife, that you guys were meant to be?
So I became a part of the family, and the whole interview process, I was like, wow, this woman is asking like pertinent questions, not surface, but deep, pertinent questions. And why is she able to ask these? And again, I didn't think anything of it. I thought they were written down, so I just went with it. But it was, I was, like I mentioned.
There we go.
Okay. So I was very interested in becoming a performer, and I reached out to her once again, and I said, what would be some songs that you would like to see a performer do on a stage? And she once again said, go talk to my son. I said, for a male audience, I prefer for a female. So that's when we started to talk. And long story short, after, conversing through email, I found out that she was working directly behind me. Like my school was like, we had a fence that over, that parted us. And we actually got to know each other outside of the community, outside of the persona of Goldie
and who I was.
Yeah, because she's a known person and I was just Trey.
Well, Trey and Tanya, I want to say y'all two are an inspiration. I mean, I don't care for any community that you represent. Y'all two behind whatever institution, y'all are just an inspiration. Because I want to read to our audience oh my God, your credentials. Oh my goodness. Trey, you are a professor and oh my goodness, you took up DJ Anonymous, but you were self-trained, which is, oh my God, incredible. And you got your bachelor's degree at Syracuse in science and information management and technology. Tanya, y'all are both business people within the Wesleyan Femme, if I'm pronouncing that right. Wesleyan Femme. Femme. Gotcha. Thank you so much for correcting me. And plus, you are Tanya. You have a big. You do a lot of cosmetic type of work and makeup and I'm just saying that in itself is a great representation within the LGBT community that we are needing to see a successful union that is doing its work. But I also want to ask you this. Y'all being a multifaceted couple like this, having all of these businesses and having all of this extra stuff that goes on into your life, what do y'all do to make time for just being a couple on your personal time? Because you have so much going on right now,
I'll speak on that.
That's the glue for that.
So for me, I'm huge on our time. No matter how busy we are, I always tell people when we have these conversations that you make time for what you want to make time for. I don't care. It's 24 hours in a day. It doesn't matter. You're going to make that time. And we really do. We sit down we come home from work, we unwind, and we make that time. We force ourselves to just cut off everything and make our time. So we make sure we have our time. And we still do date nights 14 years later. And it's a lot of things that people don't know that I've always said that it's how you get me is what you need to do to keep me. Right. And my baby has always done that consistently for 14 years now.
Wow. And it's communication in y'all's relationship is bigger than the physical relationship, because I know in the world and society that we live in, regardless if you're straight, gay, or whatever that you represent, we live in a hypersexual culture. So is it more important within these types of relationships to have that type of communication rather than the physical? Is it more important to be communicative than physical? Okay.
Absolutely. The physical is important too, because she definitely don't play about that part.
I'm
not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not important. It is very important, and you have to be very comfortable in your relationship to understand that when you fall or when you fail, to accept the feedback from your partner. And that's why I have to say my wife is great at that. I am more of the sweep it under the rug, the whatever it may be, and she would just bring it up and talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, then that's when it doesn't get solved, it doesn't get addressed. So I would have to say the verbal communication is very important, but the physical is quite as well important. Yeah.
Amen.
Well, can we talk a little bit more about the physical?
Okay.
You know, I was in a relationship for 7 years, and about 7 years, the sexual energy changed. It was like very static and just uninteresting. How do you keep the fire going after 7 years? Because it's like you kind of done everything.
That 7 year itch, baby. That 7 year itch.
I have you done everything.
How you keep the fire going after 7 years?
So because I think we're both very, very much attracted to each other still, thank God. Yes. The attraction is still there, so we both still get those butterflies.
Yes.
And we walk by each other, just rub up on each other and touch each other, and we smile and blush. So all of that is still there, so that helps a lot. As long as the attraction is still there, the sexual chemistry should be strong.
Yeah.
Now, if the attraction changes, that chemistry is going to change. I mean, we fluctuate in our weight, we fluctuate in how we look, our hair, our appearance. We fluctuate over the years, and sometimes I don't find myself attractive at all. I'll be like, oh, I'm going through a moment, but Trey walk right up on me and still like grind on my butt. I'm like, really, babe?
Okay, Trey, I see you.
It don't matter. My baby still finds me very attractive.
She's amazing. And I understand the question, Harold, in that you have to keep it interested. And, there are times when I'll just say something just random out of the blue, whether we're driving or whatever, and she does the same thing, and it kind of catch you off guard, and that reignite the fire. It reignites the fire.
And sometimes we try to be porn stars. I mean, we have a couple cocktails. We elevate, to the porn star level. We just don't have a casual night. We have a porn star night.
Keep it real.
It just depends on what I'm feeling.
And that, I guess that's the beauty. The community knows Goldie. I know Tanya and I have sexual relations with Goldie. I have an entanglement with Goldie. So I get the best of both worlds.
You do, baby.
When I want to make love, I'm making love to Tanya.
Your wife.
When I want to, do I don't know what I can say on the show, but when I want
to, you can say it.
You can say it.
I'm with Goldie. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Go ahead, Parnell.
Baby, I'm so sorry.
No, I love it.
We love it.
It's good stuff. So now, with Trey, with your studies in mathematics. Oh, and I gotta brag you a little bit, because not only did you get your bachelor's, but you also furthered your education by getting your master's degree, specialist degree, along with completing the coursework for a doctorate degree. Go on with your bad self. And when Tanya, with your cosmetology business and everything, how did you all come about with this whole theme of loveology? How did that?
So about maybe 13 years ago, before we got married, a lot of people would always ask us couple relationship advice, and we would always give them advice thinking like, we're not we don't have a degree in this field. Why people always asking us about relationships? Though we both have degrees. I have my master's as well. We always say, well, we can give y'all advice, but we don't have a license. They said, but we don't care. It's what we see, you know, what y'all give. We desire, we yearn for that. So how do y'all keep y'all relationship going so strong? How do y'all make it work? How do y'all do blended families? I mean, they asked us everything. And so I was like, hey, you know what? Let's just turn on the camera and let's talk about it.
Yeah, right.
And that's really how it started. And we said, we talked about everything under the sun. We say no bars hold. We're going to give you our truth based on how we've lived it. So don't ask us nothing that you don't want answers to, because we're going to answer everything.
Yeah.
But we also gave people the opportunity to tell us, you know, do you want us to share who you are? And if you don't, we'll keep it, you know, we won't share your name anonymous, and we'll just answer your questions.
Yeah.
And we did that. And literally we got questions from people from Africa.
Wow. Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Sending in questions. And we was like, okay, well, this is getting kind of big. And we was just doing it for fun at first. And it just took off.
And when it comes to Loveology, it's like we never like try to say that we are experts, because again, we do not have the degree in the area where we can say we are expert to speak on relationships. Yeah. However, we're just giving you advice based on our experiences.
Well, I was about to say that, yeah.
And I'm a believer of when you have an open dialogue, just like this forum right here, when you have an open dialogue, we learn from each other.
Absolutely.
So there are times, you know, when we first started, we used to record our show and then post it. Now we're able to do live interactive sessions. So not only do we respond to questions, we're able to learn from the dialogue that we have with different individuals who come in, you know, and interact with us.
Wow. You know, let me ask you guys this. Okay, and typically with deploy, I think I would say the sexual rise that typically is in the community right now. What are the things that are the questions you guys have had from pushback from the African American community? Because we typically are not the most open, you know, when it comes to that environment. Again, like as we would address a straight, gay, or whatever. Because you have this is kind of a combined question. Because you have the African American straight male that doesn't even want to be honest about his true sexuality, you know, and big thing now and a big conversation that goes on. You know, I think the gay male has a little bit more, you know, I think more flexibility in what he says or whatever. But so how do you guys kind of deal with questions like that, be it from the male perspective, maybe from the heterosexual as well as the heterosexual female?
Well, I guess honesty.
Yeah.
Regardless of the question, regardless of your orientation, your sexual orientation, we always respond with honesty.
Okay.
And we always, you know, start our response with, if you're not able to handle our response, please do not send a question in.
Right.
So there are times when we do get a variety of questions where it is heavy, and to be very transparent at this moment, I get those questions in my everyday setting at work.
Right. Okay.
You know, one thing I always lead with is respect and honesty. If you're able to respect my response, then you are able to receive it. If you're not ready, if you're not open and ready and respectful to receive it, then it's not a question that you're ready to ask.
Got you.
Yes. So you know, that's how we approach a lot of the different variety of questions. You know, we like it that our forum for Loveology is very, we provide the opportunity for anonymity, and it gives a safe space where if you're not comfortable to say the name, if you're not comfortable to say who you are, we can still discuss the topic.
Right.
That doesn't mean to close, you know, the door on the topic. We can still have an open dialogue about it. And hopefully at some point you'll be able to have those honest conversations with others that you love. But we don't like to close the door to anyone, regardless of how comfortable they are with the question they're asking.
Well, though we're a lesbian couple, we get a lot of questions from heterosexuals as well.
Right.
Asking questions about, sex in the bedroom with their husband and what they don't like anymore, what their husband try to get them to do. Right. And you know me, because I was once bisexual and I once had boyfriends. So I'm giving them my advice from when I was with men.
Exactly. Well, you know, I mean, and it's good to have that particular form because I think we talk about it in a different light. We threw the question out there in one of our production meetings about how would you feel, you know, these days. I mean, the polyamorous opportunities now that are out there, and people are inviting other people into their bedrooms, you know, and then the question came up about how did this other man feel that then his wife or girlfriend asked him to have a male in that. Now he gets on board when it's two females, but when it becomes him and another male in that particular, how's he going to respond to that? You know, and
those are great questions. Those are great questions.
You're right, exactly. How do you guys answer that particular question? Because you know that straight male always, you know, oh well, I'll never have that happen, you know, whatever the case may be. But when the lights go off and the door locks and everything closes, things change.
Truth be told,
I always say to each his own. In my bedroom, I do not share. However, if Janet Jackson was to they can either watch or taking one in.
Nothing better than towards love.
I'm very selfish. I like my own. But to each his own, you know.
You gotta have your hall pass. I think every couple has that one. So okay, if so and so, you gotta understand that's that's Janet or that's I got it. You know, don't be mad.
Even if we take Janet out of the equation, I am a pleaser. I love to make my wife happy.
Yes.
And I'm very comfortable. She knows this. I'm very comfortable in where we are in our relationship.
Right.
And my wife does not share. I understand that. Absolutely. Right. However, if she was to come to me and say, baby, oh my God, you know, this person, blah, blah, blah. I do know that I have my, I guess it's a pass, but it's not a pass. You cannot come in my bedroom if you look like me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you look like her.
I love it. They don't want another woman coming in, but they don't want another man to come in. So
right. Okay. So on that note, on that note, we want to invite you guys to still hang in if you're willing to go to our next segment. We got to get ready for our break, but and just kind of chime in where we're going. We can mix it all up. We're going to finish up with the Oscar fashions and all that. But so hang in there with us. We're going to go to a break and we're going to continue the conversation. All right?
Well, yeah, we got to hear more of that.
I know, right? All right, and welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth, the edgy truth tonight.
Yes.
Okay. but we're loving it because, hey, you know, we are revealing truth behind the truth in such a way and having conversation that we really, really needed to have, you know, and this, and you know, it's going to be furthermore, guys, as we dig into next week, you know, as well. So be further deeper into this, you know, as well. But we're going to go ahead and let you guys share for a couple more minutes more, and then we're going to get into our Oscar talk tonight real quick about the wonderful fashions we saw, the ones we liked and didn't like. Okay.
Right. I had a question. I had a question for
you ready for a question now?
I had a question for Treya and Tanya. Because, you know, as folks get older, particularly 40 and 50 and older, who have been through like relationships, a lot of times people get jaded by love and kind of bitter about it. What do you say to couples who are kind of in that space where they've had their heart broken so many times and they're older now and they just have given up on love? What do you say to couples like that or individuals like that?
Actually, I know someone like that, and they're very, very close to me. I think they've been through a real serious heartbreak, and I just feel like she don't think she can find happiness and love again. And I'm so optimistic on life in general. And I always stress to her to be patient, don't rush it, and just please leave that door open because you never know who God will allow to walk in.
That's right.
Don't ever give up on love, no matter how hard it was for you in your previous relationship. You went through that to get to where you are today for a reason. So always leave your heart and your door open and allow someone else to come in.
Beautiful.
I think that's important because so many people think that after a certain age, oh, it's not going to happen for me. Right. And I know before I got in this relationship, my husband and I, before we got married and stuff, I was like, well, I guess it ain't going to happen, but I've done it. I've experienced, I've fallen in love. I've lived with the partner. I've had that experience. And something said, you know, I think it maybe it's somebody that I've met already before. Kind of like with you all situation that we've met, but didn't really understand that this was supposed to be the person. And years went by and we crossed paths again in 2010 and have been together ever since. And it was that whole thing that I'm like, I had given up on. It's like, well, okay. Well, you know, I'm still a good looking man. There's still plenty out there that I can still enjoy myself.
You can still go play.
I haven't I still need to pay for it yet. So, so I think I find it so important for people. There were issues that I had to address. And I remember having a conversation with the one woman. I was like, well, I can't seem to make anything last longer than a year for whatever reason, you know, because that would be my thing. So I'm going to give you a year to realize that I'm it. And if at that point you haven't realized it, I'm moving on. And she said, well, you know what it is? It's not them, it's you. There is something about you that is attracting that energy to yourself. Absolutely. So you need to be really clear about what it is that you want in a mate.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, if you say, oh, I want a man or I want a woman, guess what? You'll get a man or a woman, but it's going to be a whole lot of drama and craziness sending you through it. So you really have to be specific about what it is that you want in a partner and what it is that you are bringing to a relationship. Because it ain't just on them. What are they bringing me? What are you bringing them as well to a relationship? And I have found that to be the case. And I love that you all talk to couples regardless of their sexuality or gender orientation, because I have found that when two people come together, it does not matter. The same issues are present in relationships. Now I've talked to Black couples and white couples, Latino couples and Asian couples, couples who have been together for 20 years, couples who have been together for 20 minutes. The same issues come up. So it's wonderful that you all are doing Loveology and that people are open and receptive to coming to you and just go like, let's hear it, because I think they recognize that as well.
Yeah.
And just to add to what you just said, Parnell, is a lot of the times we have our expectations of what we think we need in a mate. Sometimes we don't know what we need versus what we want.
Right. Exactly. That's a good point.
A big difference.
You know, for me, I always thought that I needed a certain type of woman. And I got what I wanted is a total difference.
Wow.
There was a total difference. And, you know, we have to allow ourselves to be open, to grow, to understand why different individuals are placed in our lives.
Right.
And anybody who has met us, who knew us individually prior to us, there were like bets going that we would not last. because we're so different. No one thought that we would be together this long.
In a year. I mean, be done in a year.
And it was again based on outside perception, what others knew of her, what others knew of me. And to this day, there's times I just text her and I say, God, I'm just so happy and I'm blessed that you're in my life.
Wow.
Because there are things that she brings to me that I did not know that I needed.
Yes, absolutely.
There are things that I wanted that she gives, but there are lots of things she gives to me that I didn't know that I needed.
Was there?
Well, I go ahead, Harold.
No, was there ever a point though that you guys felt like you reached a breaking point where you were ready to throw in the towel?
Absolutely.
And absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And here comes the truth behind the truth.
Here
comes the truth behind the truth. We actually took what's called a break from each other. 10 months. 10 strong months. But it's the way those 10 months look that people have to understand. We took 10 months apart to grow individually.
Right. Okay.
To be stronger and decide whether or not we were going to be back together.
But we didn't see nobody else.
We didn't see anyone else.
Strictly for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
At what point in your relationship was that? Was that year 7? Was that year 7?
You got something about 7 here, right?
Yes, it was year 7.
Going
7,
into
8,
8.
9, 10. Yeah, about
going
year
into
6,
8.
6, 7.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It was there.
It was a 7-year itch.
And the interesting thing is, people also have to dissect their relationship and understand why is it not working. And what we were able to realize is when it's just Tonya and Trey, we're good. We had a blended family. We had different perspective on how we raised children. So that was the interference in how we were progressing as a couple. So then we had to come to an understanding of what is important. And one thing that we always live by is, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Come on now.
Right. Wow. Good.
You want to be right or do you want to be happy? And we wanted to be happy.
Yes.
And the love never changed.
Yep.
The love never failed and never wavered. The love was always there. The attraction was still there.
Yep.
We wanted to be with each other, but we know we needed that time to make it last.
Yeah,
we needed that time apart.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have a point?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I loving this conversation. The one point I do want to integrate Dylan and I into what you're saying, because most people look at us as saying that how possibly can these two be together? Okay, first of all, they want to look at the age factor. Okay, which which we discussed.
Donald, you got that young man over there?
Yeah, I know. Right? We went into this, and I'm not going to take time to talk about the inside, but I will say this: that the thing that we discovered from the moment that it all happened, we established that everything that we would do would be a first.
Yes.
Okay. Everything that we would do would be a first, and everything has been and will continue to be a first. So we celebrate that first and everything that we do, from the accomplishment of starting the show to all of the other things that we wanted to do, in the process of that. But I know I got to move on. Okay, can't get into us now. So I hit another conversation. So we want to move in and talk about the Oscars real quick. We got a wrap up segment coming. So we're gonna talk about the fashions a little bit. So just kind of give you guys an opinion. We may not remember all the names of those that are going to be before us, but just give your opinion and say, I didn't like it, whatever. And if you know the name, hey, we'll throw it out there. But anyway, so hey, our producer, go ahead and let those fashions roll, and we'll talk about them as they come. So go and throw somebody up for us.
I love that gold bodysuit that Oscar wears. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I know, right?
Ingenue.
Yes, Ingenue
Ellis.
Very good. I think very, very outstanding opportunity for the Oscar. I think she brought very regal look, in terms of that. And I love it. I really do. I think she just did a very good job. What do you guys think?
I like the top. That's it.
Okay.
I love that segment for a minute, but yeah.
Right. So Lupita. Okay.
Oh, she never loses.
Yeah.
Lupita always seems to be on point every year.
But
I wasn't a big fan of this
type
of situation, but like I said, she's always on point, but it just kind of fizzled with this look. But other than that, though,
I personally, I mean, she has been, of course, raised by having the best dress on all the red carpet she's been on. But this one didn't do a whole lot for me. I think, and I told them during the Oscar party that we had, it looked like Christmas tinsel at the lower part of so that was my point. But love Lupita, but that just didn't work.
Y'all check on Lupita because that moment, I think she was a kind of traumatized.
Oh Lord, no.
Give her a little call.
Go ahead.
I like, Jessica Chastain.
Yes.
No.
You didn't like it?
Johnny said no. Tanya like no.
And
I get the feeling that you don't like billowy gowns.
And I love gowns. I love gowns, but that's an open thing. Every time she walked, she had to kick it as she walked.
Right.
And it's not befitting of her color palette either.
Well, I thought it probably may have been a little long. I think probably that, in the innocent session. I thought it was kind of cute. I like big gowns on ladies. I love that. I love that look. On them, with
that
trains.
Color wasn't befitting.
Right. Okay. All right. Next question, please.
No.
Well, I don't know if we have the picture of it, but Tracy Ellis Ross, her.
Oh yes, we do. Tracy Ellis Ross. There, we get to it. Go ahead and put the other pictures up for us.
Oh, that was like, who we got next?
Oh no, that was a mess. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I think he might be
Where's Wesley Snipes?
Oh, that is there too. Okay, maybe he can get to it. I know he's searching through trying to pull the ones up, but oh my gosh, Wesley Snipes. I don't know what that was. Okay,
he was inspired by the
Merlot little short suit. What?
Yeah,
I don't know what that was.
Cranberry what?
I don't know what that was. I mean,
what do you call those centerpieces that you usually see in front of middle class homes, in front of the door with the
oh no, you're not.
Yeah, what do you call those little big old those men?
Oh yeah.
They stand out in front of those homes.
A lawn jockey.
I think that was. I want to say that was you call it, but
lawn jockey.
Yeah.
He was very inspired by that look. That look was inspired.
Exactly. Well, we'll do this. I know we got a quick break. We need to go to real quick. We're going to break it and we'll finish up with a few more pictures from the Oscar, and we'll wrap up the show from that.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, we're going to our quick break. We'll be right back with you guys. All right, and we're back, guys. Thank you again once again for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth. We are here tonight with our loveology experts, guys. It is good. So love is
breaking it down for us.
Yes, I know. The love is truly in the air tonight. We love it. That is for sure. But then we're going to finish with a few more Oscar picks, and then we'll let you guys share a little bit about how people can reach out to you.
There
it is.
Okay.
Y'all want to put it up there anyway, huh?
Yes.
I didn't realize he had like tights. Those are like tights.
I don't know. Was it tights? I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
I think he
was giving it to y'all with that pose, honey.
Wesley, I have your back. First of all, he did not need the tights. Those shorts needed to be contour a little bit more to his body structure, and then he could have pulled it off. He did not need the tights. It's a good look, but the way that he put it together just was not flowing.
I think he was trying to pay homage to what he wore in White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, yeah.
When they're playing the game.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, yes,
yes.
Yes. I mean, the Queen of the Night. Okay.
I can rock that. I like that.
Maybe it's my I cannot see your body. You just have on this clothes.
But sometimes you don't have to show that shape.
But I need to see it. Your face is cute, but
yes, our Oscar love of the evening. I think I enjoyed that. Now, is Serena?
Serena. Listen here.
That's Serena.
I play tennis, and that is my girl.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm gonna start the makeup. The makeup was a big no.
Right. Okay.
I didn't even recognize her.
I didn't know who she was.
The makeup was a big no.
Right. She does look different, though. I mean, really, I think she probably had a little work done too. So, anyway, we'll move on about that. Okay.
A lot of times that's that makeup.
Yeah, it could be that contouring. It could be that contouring. You know, I think if you get Tracy Alice Ross, pretty sure we'll finish up with Tracy. I mean, it's like if you get, you'll find it in a minute. It's coming up. But Tracy, I'm telling you, as we find the picture now, depending upon the look that somebody was going for, but Tracy, I mean, if she would have had one good sneeze, it'd have been all over.
What did she have on? What did sneeze?
Hopefully you can pull up. There it is.
Oh.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I don't like her gowns. I don't like that. It looks like the things are just glued on her boobs.
Right. Exactly.
Look like a prom dress. Look like she's going to a prom.
That ain't even a prom dress.
No,
like a prom dress.
She covered up a little bit when she came up on the stage to present because this is the first time seeing it. I was like, oh, we went full Jessica Rabbit with this dress.
Right, I know. But
I'm looking beyond the clothes. I'm looking at the personality. She
really, babe?
Oh,
you said her personality. You looking at her personality.
She makes me laugh.
She makes me laugh.
Well, you know, she now.
Yes, ma'am.
Cynthia Erivo, yes.
It's all about the silhouette.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes, so she was, you know, I mean, really, I think rocking her look, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, and kudos to her. I don't know if you guys are fans of the theater, or whatever, but she's gotten awarded to play Elphaba in Wicked the movie. So, which is going to be, if we didn't see Wicked to play, I mean, phenomenal play. But so she gets to play Elphaba in the movie. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
See what she's going to bring to that character.
Tawana said no to Snipes.
Okay.
And no to Tracy. She's like, no.
Yeah, I know. That's right. So anyway, if you so we're going to wrap up as far as our Oscar pictures are concerned. But we want to hear a little bit more from you guys before we wrap up the show tonight. So just encouraging couples, okay, real fast, maybe a minute or two, and just what you guys want to infuse them, and then also tell them how they can follow you on your show.
And singles, encouraging couples and singles.
And singles. Okay.
Harold, we got you, Harold. Harold, you come out with us one night.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, there you go.
You heard it here, folks.
I guess just to encourage couples, singles, whomever, is my favorite word is being authentic.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our word.
Be true to who you are.
Yes.
And then you will attract your true soulmate.
Right.
And there's no rhyme, there's no reason, there's no recipe. You have to be who you are for someone to be able to love you truly.
Wow. Perfectly said. I couldn't say it any better. Absolutely. Go ahead. You had quickly.
And quickly from me, I will always say, just always remain optimistic because love is out there for everybody. And I do believe there's someone for everyone. Don't ever give up on love. Always keep hope alive and just be open and authentic to who you are. And just don't close yourself off, because if you close yourself off, you may miss that blessing.
Absolutely. Well said. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. This has been such a joy. Oh, my God. I'm glad. Come back and visit us again, okay? We like to have another jive session with you guys, and let's talk a little bit more, get a little bit more deeper than we could tonight, all right?
Get much deeper, so we definitely want to come back.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We're continuing Loveology of this month, okay? I mean, it's going to be great. We're going to have some more guests coming Next week's going to be even more powerful. They're going to get in deeper. All right. Things that we ain't even talked about yet. All right. But anyway, thanks again for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. We love you guys. Thanks for being here. Say hello to Atlanta for us. All right.
Thanks, Trey, Tanya.
Thank you guys. Have a great night. And thanks for